Hey, what is up everybody? Here's Matsik once again, and in today's video we're gonna be showcasing how to root active from Hackbox, whose name suggests that is an Active Directory based machine. It's actually an easy level machine, but it's kind of a good start. Um, so yes, that's it. That's all I have to say. So as always, let me just walk you through the whole nmap command I used. So I used tagpn. As always, that will tell nmap that the host is already up and running, preventing it from executing some probes and ping scans to check whether or not the host is up, right? Essentially. Tag sv that will conduct a service version detection scan appending this column from here, the fourth one, right? And the C appended to it will execute some default scripts such as this one that the nmap scripting engine has. For example, HTTP server header is one script, HTTP title, so on and so forth. Sometimes there are even more than that, and you can just squeeze it in. Remember, tag sc is just as tag sv is just a way to squeeze them in, right? We also have a minimum rate of 500 packages. This will speed it up a lot since we are in a VPN. Communications are slow. So 500 is just about right for me. Sometimes other people use 5,000, 1,000, a lot of packages. But that's just right for me, right? Otherwise I would lost a lot of packages. So tagging will disable DNS resolution because usually DNS resolution takes 1 or 2 minutes extra, so that is not worth it for a CDF, at least. Tag will be performing the scan over the whole range of ports that are available on the IP TCP the TCP/IP protocol, and we have 65,535. Now you see 12 in here because these are the number of closed TCP ports, but if you sum all these up that are the open ports, that will do it, right? And lastly, tag on that will save the output to the file called general on a directory called nmap. Right, so onto the results, we see that we have 53 open. With this, we can check some DNS records, such as the name server. Let us do that. Oh, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't. Okay, let me go to Hack the Box and open it in here. Right, so tmux, like this. And let me here less nmap general, and here you can do one thing. First of all, we need to add the domain which LDAP provides us with, active.htb, to our etc host file. So you can just nano etc hosts file and go with that, such as 10.10.10.100 and the domain, right? That will make it resolve. That would have to be resolved to that domain. So we can deck tool, and we can quote an IP, right? So dick at my IP, as you just saw, I just defined a variable t for my target IP, as in target, t as in target. And with this I can query active.htb. Now I can specify which DNS I forgot the name. Well, what do I want? Let us have it like that. So I can specify the DNS record, right? So I can specify name server record, and that will give us an answer. In this case, nothing. We can ask for email exchange, mail exchange, nothing at all. Or we can simply go with any, right? But in this case, it is not working, and that is just about right. That it's basically the way it is done. Well, actually, it does gives us in one. So active.htb. I don't remember what this is for, but yeah, it's one DNS record. Another thing we always need to try is the domain zone transfer, AXFR, and that says transfer failed. If it didn't fail, it would have given us some other kind of domains that are not supposed to be publicly available or visible. So that is a good information leakage finding, right? Also, we have Kerberos. With that, I've just showed that before. We can try to brute force some users, right, in order to perform several attacks later on. We also have 445, which is SMB, RPC client as well. So let me SMB map HT just like that at first. And if it doesn't work, we will try with a null session attack by specifying a null user, but it can actually be whatever. It worked, but it would be just like that, and you can actually do whatever, right? And with this, I can see that we have a replication share with read-only access. Okay. Authentication error, that is expected, but sometimes it works. Cell replication, and I like to check it out with SMB client. Since it's a Windows, we need to specify double backward slash in order to escape them out. So like this, and replication, and just like that, and no password, right? But before that, let me go to contents, like this, and SMB client, no password. And anonymous login successful. That's cool. So there, let me go there to see what that is. Active.htb. And this is interesting because it is possible that you don't notice, but these three directories are kind of like well, just as the share name suggests, a replication of the sysvol share. Now, the sysvol share has some, well, registries and files that we wouldn't be usually interested at, but in this case, and there's almost always this vulnerability still. We can find a groups.xml file which will hold a password, an encrypted password. However, Microsoft did an error and leaked like the key, like encryption key. So there's a public exploit we can take advantage of to crack this one. So I'm gonna be going to first scripts just to see there's something there, and there's not. So let me go back to policies. And from here, I just want to go to this one first, otherwise the second one. And here, again, you would always have to look at all of the files, all of the machines, all of the directories, sorry. And we can go straight with machine and with references and with groups. And there you go. Now we can download it with get. So get groups.xml, exit out. And with this, I'm going to be cutting it out. I will see that there's a C password. What else is over here? There's a name for active.htb, svctgs. Here's as well. So I have this. So at this point, you would need to Google something like this. Okay, groups.xml, C password. I mean, I don't know what that is, right? And you would come across a lot of interesting forums or blogs that says something about it, such as exploiting GPP sysvol, groups.xml, finding password in sysvol, exploiting, privilege escalation, a lot of things. And I just opened up the first one. So I scroll down, just as this is in order to understand the vulnerability. It's like kind of like a explanation of how you would get to the idea. And I don't know if this is actually I mean, it's probably I mean, this block is probably talking about the same machine we're doing right now. I'm not really sure at this point. But yeah, it looks like that. Active.htb. Okay, yeah. It is. But this is not a spoiler because it is actually, I mean, it was the first entry we just found, and it's talking about a generic theme, so that's fine. And in this case, look at this, cracking GPP using GPP decrypt. So apparently we do have a way to crack this natively without downloading anything, such as GPP decrypt, and just passing it the password. And look at that, we have it. So GPP group policy password, I think, still standing strong, 2018, right? So let me go creds, sorry, nano creds, so SVC, TGS, like that. And with this, I want to do several things, such as just making sure it does work. So USVC, TGS, and password, this one. And cool, it works. So I can now list the shares either with correct map exec with SMB map or with client SMB client. That would be nice. Actually, correct map exec will show the kind of the same information as when you list it with SMB map, like the permissions. So we have users, sysvol, replication, net logon, right? Oh, damn. Oh, close that out. Oh, we saw a user share, so let me connect that. And look at this. I'm gonna be using again this users, but in this case, the way to authenticate is using SVCTGS, a percent signed, and the password, right? And there, and we have a lot of things. Probably we don't have enough permissions to see some of them. So if you go to CVSGTS and we go to this stuff, I think it is there. There you go. So get user exit ls cat user.txt. So that's super cool. Now we have a set of username and password that is a credential, a valid credential. So we might want to try enumerating RPC client, enumerating the RPC service. So in order just to test for a no attack, let's go try this. Enum DOM users, and it does not work, so we need authentication. The way to provide this is exactly the same as with SMB client. So we can strip that tagging off. And there, I'm sorry, enum DOM users again. Actually, this is kind of uncomfortable, so I'm going to be using C as in command line for enum DOM users, right? So we have only administrator, guest, key RB, TGT, which is a Kerberoasting user, and SVC TGS. So at this point, we can only target to administrator, right? So we might want to check the description of these users. Enum this users, I think it is. Now enum this users. I remember, man. So I'm gonna have to log in completely so I can help. Didn't want to do that, but I just don't remember what the command is. So in get this name. No. Let me check that. Enum prefs, enum trust, enum domains. Enum query this info. So query this info. And with that, we see descriptions and there's nothing. But imagine if we had a user such as temp Ryan, right? And the boss Michael Scott entered his password in the description field. That's because he didn't want to forget it. So we would have been able to gather that information and log in and keep exploiting and keep moving laterally, right? So what we want to do is try the two most common attacks, which are ASREP roastable accounts and Kerberoastable accounts. Kerberoasting, ASREP roasting. So in order to get MP users.py, in order to perform a ASREP roast attack, we need to use get MP users.py, and that is bad. Get MP, right? It's with capital G, just like this. So these are some examples, right? In this case, TGS for user in the file, no. For all users, maybe. Get a TGT for a user. Let us try this, for example, where we need to specify the domain, active.htb, then svc_tgs. Now let us do it with no password first. And it says you have done require pre-auth set. So even if we specify the password, it would do the same because it doesn't have the you have done require pre-auth configuration set, right? So that's a discarded way to escalator privileges. And I don't know, just in order to try administrator, it wouldn't be usual, but CDFs, you never know. And in order to perform now a Kerberoasting attack, we need to use the get user service principal name spns.py. How do we do that? So target domain at username password. So domain, that would be active.htb slash, I don't know, administrator at first. And what else? So we need to request, and then we need to specify a DCIP. And just in case, target domain active.htb. I don't know. I don't remember how this was. Yeah. Instead of administrator, let me go then with svc_tgs, svc_tgs, and password. And well, look at that. So it gave us a active, well, I mean, the service principal name is active, SIFs 445 administrator, group policy creator owners. Those are the groups this user is in, and we have a hash in here. So we can just go ahead and copy this and nano hash like this, and John hash rock. So let's try to crack that. That way we'll know if we can access his account, and yes, we do. So we have now another password here, and we can crack map exec smb, right? And administrator, and password is this one, just like that. And we should receive a pond, which means we are administrators and we can create files, shares, upload files to some shares, and all the stuff. So in order to log in, psexec.py is the best way to go. And apparently, well, I'm doing some things with my machine, so I have several errors here, but what I'm gonna do is psexec.py, and I like to use this one, for example, and that should work. There you go. And there are some errors though, but just in order to showcase the machine, we can ignore it, right? So we can here use DCP/IP. Was it like that? I actually don't remember what was it. So let me just follow this line, which is the target active.htb administrator password. Damn. I remember it was ticket master 1968 at IP. And there you go. So it's requesting shares, it's uploading a malicious binary, it's creating a service, it's starting it, and there you go. So here I want to go to my C users administrator, and there you will see several errors. Don't worry about them. So their desktop, and we have root. Look at this thing here. I'm gonna type it out. So type desktop root.txt, and there you go. That is our flag. And well, that is it. It was interesting. I think again this is a great machine to start off in Active Directory pen testing and foundations. So I hope you guys liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you like the content, and give it a like. Don't be bad. And yes, that's it. So thank you very much, you guys, for joining, and I'll see you later with another video.